Welcome to another deep dive. This one, this one's got a lot going on.
Oh,
We've
yeah.
got a witness in a high-profile case
Oh, wow.
who not only testified before a federal grand jury,
Really?
but then
Okay.
decided to give an interview
Huh.
right afterward,
So, like, immediately after.
immediately. So
Yeah.
we're getting like
Yeah.
a never-before-seen glimpse
Yeah.
into some really serious allegations.
Yeah, this is not your typical news story. This is
Sure.
big time. We're talking about potentially, like, a legal bombshell here
Yeah.
with claims of, like, secretly recorded tapes,
Oh,
possible underage victims, and
Okay.
even a manuscript that's supposed to be based on
I know. It's a
Kim Porter's diaries.
importers. Yeah.
Diddy's ex and the mother of 4 of his children.
Right. Okay. So let's
Yeah, let's break this down.
let's unpack this. Our
Uh.
main source here is a YouTube interview
Okay.
with Courtney Burgess, who's the witness,
Right.
who just testified
Yeah.
before a
Yeah.
grand jury.
Oh, wow.
He claims that a friend gave him 11 flash drives
11.
that belonged to Kim Porter.
That's a lot of flash drives. What could
11 flash possibly be on 11 flash drives. And the fact that he handed them over to a grand jury,
Right.
I mean, that means
This is not just like gossip.
way more than just gossip.
This is the real deal. Yeah. So Burgess says these flash drives contain videos
Okay.
of 8 celebrities
Mm-hmm.
at Diddy's parties.
Okay.
6 men, 2 women.
Okay.
And he claims that all of them were, in his words,
Yeah.
victims in these videos.
He claims they're all victims.
Victims.
And so what does that even mean? Like, what
Yeah.
are we talking about here?
So he specifically says
Yeah.
the videos show these individuals in compromising positions with Diddy
Okay.
and that they all appear to be intoxicated
Uh-huh.
or under the influence.
So if this is true,
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about evidence potentially of like some really,
Serious criminal activity.
and this is where it gets really heavy.
Okay.
Burgess claims that 2 or 3 of the 8 celebrities in the videos
Oh, gosh.
appear to be minors.
2 or 3 of them. Wow. I mean,
Minors.
that really changes things.
Yeah.
If these allegations are true,
Yeah.
and we need to emphasize that they are just allegations
They are just allegations at this point.
at this point.
But if they're true,
We could be looking at
what?
potential charges related to secretly recording people,
Right.
maybe without their consent,
And pot.
and the possibility of underage victims.
Underage victims being involved, yeah.
Wow.
So, and remember, Burgess testified about all of this under oath in front of a grand jury,
Right.
which means...
A grand jury, for people who might not know, is
Yeah.
basically a group of citizens
Right.
who decide if there's enough evidence to formally charge someone
Right.
with a crime.
It's a big deal.
It's a really big deal.
Yeah.
And his lawyer was very careful
Very careful.
about what Burgess could actually say
Right.
in this interview
Yeah.
because of the ongoing legal proceedings.
So even though Burgess's lawyer was limiting what he could say,
Yeah.
the statements that he did make
Yeah. What'd you have
are
to say?
really shocking.
Oh, wow.
For example, when he was asked how many of the celebrities seemed to be potentially victimized,
Yeah.
he answered, to be honest, all were victims.
He said all were victims.
All were victims.
Oh.
And when asked about how many of them might have been underage,
Yeah.
he said 2 to 3, possibly 3.
Wow. I mean, those are
Those are
pretty strong claims.
Strong claims.
Yeah.
Now, there's another detail that really
Yeah.
caught my attention.
Okay.
Burgess initially described a visit from federal marshals
Okay.
serving a subpoena
Yeah.
as a raid.
Oh.
His lawyer clarified that it wasn't actually a raid,
Oh, okay.
just standard procedure
Oh, right.
for serving a subpoena.
Yeah. Important to clarify that. It means no warrants were issued
Right.
for his arrest
Right.
or to search his home. But
But it just adds another layer of like
it adds a little intrigue to the story.
intrigue, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's
Let's move on.
dive into this mysterious manuscript now.
Okay, so along with the videos,
Yeah.
Burgess claims that the flash drives
Yeah.
also contained a manuscript
Uh-huh.
that appears to be based on
Yes.
Kim Porter's personal journals.
And the opening lines are
I heard about this. Yeah. What does it say?
just chilling.
Oh, wow.
Apparently, it starts with,
Yeah.
Kim made me promise that if something happened to her,
Okay.
I would make sure this book became public to the world.
Wow.
And then it goes on to say, the way Sean moved, I knew that was a promise I would have to fulfill. Kim knew I was a woman of my word, and this book was going to make it to print.
Oh my gosh. It's like when I first read that, I got chills. It sounds like straight out of a movie.
Right.
Yeah.
So Burgess claims that he talked to Porter about the content of this manuscript just hours before her death.
Really?
Hours.
Wow.
And he says that after he left Atlanta, someone brought him
Wow.
the complete manuscript.
That is wild.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's a wild story.
The one thing that I did wonder about, though,
Yeah.
was how the manuscript could include
Yeah.
pages and pages of dialogue,
Yeah.
like the interviewer pointed out.
Yeah.
It seems a little unlikely.
It does, given, how hard it is to remember conversations
Yeah.
from years ago.
You're right. It's hard to imagine someone
Yeah.
perfectly recalling these conversations from years past.
Right.
But, Burgess's response to that was interesting.
What did he say?
He basically said that women are better at remembering those
Better.
kinds of details.
I don't know if I agree with that generalization, but I mean,
Yeah.
his response at least suggests
Yes, he believes.
the dialogue is authentic.
Right.
We need more information, I
Yeah.
think, to know for sure.
We do.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got the flash drives, we've got the videos, we've got the grand jury testimony, and now this manuscript.
It's like a crime drama or something.
Okay.
What's next?
Well, now that we've kind of laid out the basics,
Yeah.
I think it's time to kind of shift gears and look at Diddy's alleged behavior,
Okay.
as described by Burgess. This is where I think things take a bit of a darker turn.
Okay.
So, you mentioned Diddy's transformation.
Right.
Do you think this manuscript, if it really is authentic,
Yeah.
could shed some light on
That's interesting.
that change?
That is an interesting question.
It's
Possible. I mean, it's possible that Porter's perspective, if it is truly reflected in this manuscript, it could provide insights into Diddy's alleged behavior and how he might have changed over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Burgess described Diddy as someone who was like once really ambitious,
Mhm. But has now become someone who doesn't really care about anyone
Right.
around him. He even went as far as to compare Diddy to Lucifer.
Comparing him to Lucifer.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
a strong statement.
strong statement. It certainly sounds like Burgess believes Diddy's capable.
Yeah.
Some of the things he's alleging.
It does. And
Yeah.
it brings us to like a really crucial point here.
Yeah.
Sean Combs, or Diddy, as most people know him,
Right.
he has not been charged
Right.
with any crimes
Yeah.
and is considered innocent.
Right. It's crucial to remember that
Yeah.
these are just allegations. Nothing has been proven
Right.
in a court of law.
Of course, yeah.
But even if Diddy manages to avoid criminal charges,
Right.
this whole situation
Yeah.
could still have a
Yeah.
huge impact on his
Yeah.
career
Yeah.
and his reputation.
Absolutely. I mean, we're
Yeah.
talking about accusations of
Yeah.
secretly recording people,
Yeah.
possibly
Yeah.
without their consent.
Right. The possibility of underage individuals involved. These are very serious allegations with potentially severe legal repercussions.
His whole brand is built on this image
Yeah.
of
Right.
success
Yeah.
and wealth
Yeah.
and desirability,
Right.
regardless of the outcome.
Right.
These allegations
Could really tarnish.
could really tarnish
Remember that image.
that image.
Yeah.
And we can't forget
Yeah.
about the impact,
Yeah. The potential impact on
the alleged victims,
the victims. Right.
whether they choose to come forward publicly or not.
Right.
Their lives
Yeah.
have potentially been exposed
Right.
and their privacy violated.
It's
Yeah.
a complicated situation
Complicated situation for everyone involved.
for everyone involved.
It's especially heartbreaking when you consider
Yeah.
this entire case revolves around materials
Right.
that allegedly belong to Kim Porter.
To Kim Porter, who
Right.
tragically passed away in 2018.
Tragically passed away.
It really makes you think,
Yeah.
about the ethics of
Of posthumous revelations.
posthumous revelations. Right.
Where do we draw the line?
Where's that line?
On privacy,
Yeah.
even after death.
Right. Even after death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who gets to control
Right. And who gets to
a person's
legacy? A person's legacy.
That's a tough question.
It is a tough question.
And with technology making it easier than ever to store and share personal information,
Yeah.
even after someone is gone.
Oh, yeah. It's
I mean, these questions are
becoming
even more relevant these days.
more relevant. Yeah.
Yeah.
This case could set a precedent
Right.
for how these situations are
Yeah.
handled in the future.
Yeah.
If Diddy is ultimately charged
Right.
and convicted, it could send a message that even the most powerful and famous
individuals
are not above the law.
Are not above the law when it comes to privacy violations.
Especially when it comes to privacy violations.
And it might empower others.
Absolutely.
Who have experienced similar situations.
Right.
To come forward.
Yeah.
Knowing there's a chance for justice to be served.
Right. Knowing they can get justice.
Right.
Yeah.
On the other hand,
but
if these allegations turn out to be false,
right,
or if the case is dismissed,
it
could raise questions.
It could. About the credibility of the accuser.
Right. And
the potential for false accusations.
False accusations.
Damaged reputations.
Damaged reputations, Yeah,
it's a double-edged sword.
Double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Either way. Yeah. This case is a stark reminder. That the lines between public and private
are getting
blurrier.
Blurrier and blurrier.
And blurrier in the digital age.
In the digital age,
And that has implications.
And that's something
for all of us.
We all,
not just celebrities,
need to think about.
We leave digital footprints everywhere.
Everywhere.
And it's getting harder and harder to control.
It's getting hard.
Who has access to that information. It makes you wonder if we need
it really does.
Stronger legal protections for digital privacy.
Right.
Or if we need to
or do we need to completely rethink
our expectations of privacy in a world where
so much of
our lives is documented.
Our lives are documented online.
Yeah. It's a conversation we need to be having.
It's a conversation we need to be having.
Yeah, for
society. Technology is evolving faster than our laws.
Right.
And social norms.
Well, we need to catch up.
We need to catch up.
This case is a real-time example.
It is. It's a real-time example of how these issues are playing out.
Yeah, with very real consequences.
Very real consequences.
For everyone involved. Yeah.
It's also a cautionary tale.
Yeah.
For anyone.
For anyone who thinks they can really control their digital footprint.
Once something's out there.
Once it's out there,
it can be
nearly impossible to erase it.
Almost impossible to erase. Even if it's
false.
False or even misleading.
So where does this leave Diddy?
He's in a really precarious position.
Yeah.
I mean, his legal team is probably working
I bet.
around the clock to discredit Burgess.
Right.
And challenge the validity of the evidence he's presented.
They'll definitely be emphasizing that Diddy is innocent until proven guilty.
Of course. Mm-hmm. But even if he avoids criminal charges, the damage to his reputation
could be
significant.
His image and his brand
are at stake. It'll be interesting to see how his team handles the PR side of things.
It will be interesting, yeah.
Will they go on the offensive and deny everything?
Right.
Or will they try to keep a low profile and hope this all just blows over?
Yeah. And how will his fans react? Right. Will they stand by him?
Yeah.
Or will they turn away?
Celebrity culture is so unpredictable.
It is. Yeah. Some fans will probably stay loyal no matter what.
Right.
While others might be quick to judge.
Yeah.
This could be a defining moment in his career.
Yeah.
He might be forced to confront some difficult truths.
Right.
About himself.
And his past. Do you think this will lead to a larger reckoning within the entertainment industry?
Could this spark a broader conversation about the treatment of women?
The treatment of women?
Abuse of power.
And
the limits of privacy.
Privacy,
In the digital age.
It's
hard to say.
It's hard to say for sure.
Yeah.
But this case definitely has potential to do that.
It does.
I mean, only time will tell.
But
one thing's for certain. This story is far from over.
It's a lot to think about.
It is.
The alleged victims, the impact on Diddy's career, the questions about privacy and legacy.
Yeah.
This case touches on so many important issues.
And it's a reminder that even in a world dominated by technology
and social media,
the truth often lies
somewhere.
Somewhere in the shadows.
Yeah. Burgess has claimed that all of the individuals in the videos were victims.
Right.
Regardless of whether they knew they were being recorded.
Right. So that's a really powerful statement.
It
is. It forces us to consider
the
more subtle ways that coercion and manipulation can occur,
right.
especially in situations where there's a clear power imbalance.
Yeah. And it highlights the importance
It does.
of believing those who come forward with their stories.
Absolutely.
And creating environments where they feel safe to speak their truth.
To speak their truth.
These conversations are essential.
They are.
And long overdue.
They are long overdue.
Regardless of the outcome of this particular case.
Regardless of the outcome.
So this has been a really intense deep dive.
It has.
What's the one thing you want our listener to walk away with?
The key takeaway here, I think, is that we are navigating uncharted territory.
Right.
When it comes to
celebrity
privacy and accountability.
And accountability in this digital age.
In the digital age. The old rules are changing.
The old rules.
And we're all still figuring out what that means.
This whole situation with Diddy is just one piece of a much larger puzzle.
Yeah.
It's a puzzle that we'll continue to explore on future deep dives as we try to make sense.
Yeah, as we try to make sense.
Of this constantly evolving landscape.
It's
just wild to think about how something like,
I know.
As small as like a flash drive could potentially bring down an empire.
It really shows you like the power of information in this digital age.
Right.
And how quickly things can change.
Yeah.
When
that information
becomes public.
Becomes public.
This whole situation makes me wonder, are there bigger implications here?
You think so?
For how we view
celebrity and accountability.
Absolutely. I mean, celebrities have always had a certain level of protection, shielded by their fame, their wealth, and their legal teams. But cases like this show that those shields might not be
as strong as they once were. Social media has really changed the game.
It has.
Giving a voice to people who might not have been heard before. Now, anyone can share their story and hold powerful figures accountable in a way that wasn't possible before.
In a way that just wasn't possible before.
It's created a new kind of system where public opinion can have a real impact on careers and legacies. Not just in the entertainment industry.
But
in politics, business.
You name it.
We've seen
I know, right?
So many examples of that.
Examples of that lately.
Recently. What I find especially interesting is how this case kind of connects with the hashtag #MeToo movement.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
It definitely raises
similar
questions
about
consent,
power dynamics,
and how victims are often silenced. Burgess's claim that all the individuals in those videos were victims. Even if they didn't know they were being recorded. Really stuck with me.
That's a good point. It challenges us to think about
subtle ways.
The more subtle ways.
That coercion.
And manipulation. Can happen, especially
when there's a power imbalance.
It
makes you realize that things aren't always black and white.
And
it underscores how important it is.
It does to believe
people
when they come forward
with their story.
Or with their stories.
And to create safe spaces.
Absolutely.
Safe spaces for them to
share their experiences. So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one thing?
What's the one thing I hope our listeners will take away
from all of this?
I think the biggest takeaway is that we're in
a whole new world.
When it comes to
celebrity,
privacy, and accountability
in
the digital age.
The old rules don't apply. And we're all still trying to figure out. What the new rules should be.
It feels like.
It does. It feels
we're
like
at a turning point.
We are. And this case, with all of its complexities and unknowns, it's just one small piece.
of
a much larger story. That's still unfolding.
Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been great.
It's been a really thought-provoking.
It has been a really thought-provoking conversation. And to our listener, keep asking questions, keep learning, And stay curious. This case is far from over.
Yep.
And we'll be here to break it all down.
We'll be here.
For you as new information comes to light.